Hello students, in this lecture you are going to learn effective communication skills. So first, greeting and introducing yourself is the first and foremost thing you should do to produce an effective communication skills. If you have a good communication skills, you have to give a good self introduction and good greetings. So greeting is the first and foremost thing you should start a conversation with. So the first type of greeting is formal greetings. The formal greetings are usually you must use to elder people, or when you speak with higher officials, you should use formal greeting. You should greet them in a very formal way. And the responses of formal greetings should be like good morning, good afternoon, good evening. So that should be like that. When you meet somebody for the very first time, you must ask, how do you do? So this is a very formal way. When you meet both elder people or younger people, you must start a conversation in the very formal way by saying, how do you do? And the responses are like, I'm pretty good, thanks, I'm just fine, thank you, everything is always fine, I'm very well, how do you do? So the responses should be like this. When you greet somebody, they should respond like this, like I'm pretty good, thanks. So the responses should be like this. When somebody greets you, you must respond as given in the picture, I'm pretty good, I'm just fine, thank you. So the responses by you should be like that. And informal greetings. So informal greetings is what we use with friends and neighbors or younger people. We usually use this informal way with our friends, no? So, hello, hi, what's up, how is life? So, these are the common informal terms or greetings we use in our daily basis. And the typical responses are pretty good, well, I'm okay, fine, thanks, not too bad. So, these kind of responses should be given by the people who you greet. And when somebody greets you, you must respond like this typical responses. So here we have a dialogue corner uh, with John and Tom. John asks, hi Tom, how are you doing today? And the response of Tom be like, pretty good, thanks. And John is there, any homework today? Then John is asking, is there any homework today? And the response of Tom will be, yes. Have you finished to do it? And John is responding like, yes, I have. Then Tom is saying, well, glad to see you. Then John is telling, glad to see you too. So this dialogue corner will help you to how to start a conversation and how to finish it. In the first sentence, John is asking, how are you doing today? And in the last sentence, glad to see you too. So your conversation must be like this. When you speak with both your friend or elder, you should conversation in a very formal or informal way, like the greetings we have seen. And we have one more dialogue corner with Donny and Mr. Tom. This is a formal way of conversation. In the very first sentence, Donny is telling, good morning, Mr. Tom. So we must use the title as Miss or Mrs., Mr. when we are conversing in a very formal way. And Mr. Tom is saying, good morning. Then Donny is saying, how are today? So the response should be like, I'm pretty good, thanks. Dhoni, excuse me, Mr. Tom, what company do you work for? So this is a very formal conversation with Dhoni and Mr. Tom, and the questions and the responses are also in a very formal way. In the last sentence, okay, Mr. Tom, it's pleasure to talk to you and see you. So this is the way we must converse with people in a very formal way. And then introducing yourself. We can greet people with both informal and normal according to the customs, according to the place or situation. And the introduction of yourself must be very formal and very attractive way you should present yourself or introduce yourself. So introducing yourself is a way, there is a variety of range of ways to introduce yourself to people. First of all, introducing yourself should be like, my name is, or I am. You should use these terms to introduce your name. You must not use myself because that is a wrong term. You should use my name is or I am. And after that, you have to tell your name and then nice to meet you. I am. And you have to say your name. Pleased to meet you and your name. Let me introduce myself. Then I am அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு you have to use your name. I would like to introduce myself and then I am. So they next you should use your name. So introducing yourself and others. There is a range of ways to introduce yourself and people. Introducing yourself is a best way of expressing yourself. So you must use like that. My name is, so what is your name is you have to tell on that place. I am and nice to meet you. As we have seen in the last picture, the same things are repeating here, and the useful responses of people must be like nice to meet you, pleased to meet you, happy to meet you, and how do you do. So when you introduce yourself with people, any higher official or any elder people, or if you are introducing yourself in an interview, you have to use these type of typical responses. When somebody meet you, you have to tell nice to meet you or pleased to meet you. So these are the very formal way you must use in a effective conversation, and it makes the best sense of effective communication. And here we have a dialogue. Alex is talking to a new manager and his assistant. Notice how they introduce themselves. So this is one more, we have a formal way of introducing yourself. So this is a conversation between Alex and William. So Alex is beginning the conversation by saying, "Hi, my name is Alex Littman, the new manager." And the new manager is uh, monitoring the person William. How does he introduce himself? So William is saying, "Hi, I am William O'Brien. Nice to meet you, Mr. Alex Littman." So we must say nice to meet you or pleased to meet you, happy to meet you, or how do you do. The responses we have seen in the last picture, this must be used if you begin a informal conversation. And Alex is telling, "Nice to meet you too, William. Well, please meet Mr. Steve Lynch, my assistant." And you must ask the very formal response we have seen in the last picture, how do you do? Then William is repeating, how do you do? So these are the things you must remember. The first thing is greeting, and the second thing is how to introduce yourself and how to give the typical responses in the very formal or informal way. But you should remember, when you converse with any higher officials like a manager or a principal, you must speak in a very formal way. You should not use hi or WhatsApp like informal kind of words. You should not use. You must use formal way. And the things you should remember when introducing yourself. When introducing yourself or other people in a formal situation, use their full name with the title. Mr. Alex Litterman must be used as William used here. How do you do? It's not really a question, it's just a hello. How do you do means that is not a question, that is not what are you doing kind of questions. You are just asking, you are just telling hello to them. So this is a very formal way of telling hello. Hello is a informal we are using with any people, both formal and informal way. Hello, we use the word hello to our mother, father, sister, friend, neighbor, anybody. We can use the word hello. But how do you do is a very formal way. You must use with a certain kind of people in a particular position like manager, principal, teacher, parent. So that must be used with those people. The slides ends here. I'm repeating or revising the whole content. So first we begin with greeting. So greeting is nothing but the first and foremost sentence or word we should use before a conversation. That greeting will uh, help you to admire people, because people will be attracted by your greeting, or people will know about your communication skills by your greetings. So when you greet somebody with good morning, good afternoon, that will impress your higher officials or manager, kind of persons. So that greeting will help you in any way, and people will learn that you have effective communication skills when you use formal formal greeting in a formal place and informal greeting in an informal place. So that will help people should understand that you have an effective communication skills by your greeting and introduction and everything. So the introduction should be like what I'm saying before. The major part of greeting and introduction is these both will attract the people you are going to work for. If you are working for a company or working for a manager, they will impress by your greeting and introduction. If you give an effective greeting and effective self introduction, you will be selected as a particular position in a particular company. So that makes sense, and that will help you for future and further. And other responses should be like nice to meet you, pleased to meet you. So these words you must use when you converse in a very formal way. So formal greetings and formal way of conversation and formal response is very much useful for your future, and very much useful for an effective conversation. So this will help you, and kindly avoid informal greetings or informal way of introducing yourself when you speak with any higher official. So these things you must remember. And again I'm recalling the dialogue. So you must use your name and you must introduce yourself. And when you converse in a very formal way, you must use the title before the name of a person, like Mr., Miss, or Mrs. So you should not forget to give them titles. So you must tell their name with their titles. So this, I hope this video will helpful for you, and learn more. Happy learning. Thank you so much.